already 7 points clear of
Video.
Falcony Robats.
Keine Ahnung, was da jetzt da los
Very well.
ist.
19 Elans there is pushing them 5 points
Lauf
clear
am
of Amplified Miro and Maxwell, who had an incredible first game. I mean, it's been
a quick little apology. Based on score, I had assumed that because Matsoe, Miro, and Amplify had first place, that they had the Victory Royale. They, in fact, did not. So, my apologies. All we were getting was placement on the screen. That's my bad. Back to you.
We got to keep him honest, and we love him very much for it. But don't forget, the top 8 are moving on from this heat. So right now, you must be this tall to ride. So if we're looking at just top 8 the points, 18, that's just like a victory round is worth 15 points in and of itself. So even if you get that victory round with 3 eliminations, you can now look to strike up in the top 8. So, and we're only in the second game. We're about to head into game number 3. What does this spell for like all of these other teams?
Wieso sehe ich eigentlich
If you have a couple of bad games, that's okay. If you're able to get in, get situated, get a couple of eliminations, get some placement points in there. As you can see right now, to be on the first page, it's 11 points up there. But one thing I do want to take a look at here is some of the gameplay that came out from Mongrel, Mitro, and Benji. They were able to play so well, and Lupo even hinted at it, saying at around like top 40 or so, you could kind of smell that they were going to have that victory out. It had the sense of, hey, they were going to get high ground. They had everything they needed. It's like, oh, this looks like it's going to be a win from them. Let's hop on it and see how they're able to execute and get this done. And one thing you'll note is when they are on high ground, they're so incredibly disciplined with their angles. They're constantly looking around, adjusting, putting rockets towards their opponents, and then keeping control, working with each other to make sure that they're finding the right targets. I mean, Mongrel's aim on people who are in the air, honestly, you'd think he's using a controller, the way these players just get beamed as they come through, but no, it is just his amazing throw. Just as Mitra would say, that's crazy. They are running it through 38 points up top, and again, always on the high ground. And for me, that's what's so impressive. In a meta where there's so many RPGs, so many shockwaves, the way they're able to not only get initial control, but then run the rest of the lobby without having to drop down and putting themselves in bad situations. They were never threatened. Count the number of times in this clip that bullets or anything are being shot back towards them. Everyone else is so focused on just trying to rotate and avoid damage from above that these guys don't have to do really anything in terms of defensive play, and they can just focus on going forward, and it seemed like it was just going to be a win. And honestly, I want to roll this all the way back to Xiaowei just be talking about the retail drop spot and how your early game sets you up for an advantage. They have so many tools at their disposal, from ammunition to rockets to excess shields to having enough mats because they had rotations early to hold the high ground. It just makes it so easy and so clinical. And I promise, if you are a trio or you're just interested in competitive and getting better, go and load up these guys' server replays. Watch them play. Check them out on their socials. You might want to actually mute their streams every now and then. Paulus does a great job breaking that one down. Let's take a look at page 2 of the standings, because as we talked about in the right now is getting you up into the
Nein! Oh! Leute, ich bin schlecht.
In order to advance. And you're up, every single one of these guys is impressive, but they're all capable of stringing together a couple of good runs. You have 6 games, a third of them are down. You're now into kind of like the meat of it. In the next 2 games, you don't want to fall out early. So expect to see some intense battles early on, and maybe a little bit more passive play kind of in the mid game, because people don't want to get dropped out. You don't want it to be a 3rd game and then fall out and realize, oh, we're
Ist das langweilig, das. Aber wir werden ja nochmals in einer Runde, Leute. Und dann so weiter. Leute, ich hab bei Spotify jetzt ein, ja. Also ich habe jetzt da auf Spotify einen Account, der heißt Fortnite. Als groß hat ein Fuchs.
I wouldn't say like, so retail loot is strong, but there's a reason why.
Oh. Oh. Ja, Pizza. Pizza muss weiterleben. Also für was sind ihr? Hamburger oder Tomate? Also ich bin für Tomate. Wenn aus Tomate kann man eine Pizza machen. Das ist so eine Tomate-Pizza kann man machen. Oder nur eine Pizza. Das ist so eine Oh no!
Also called the looting phase.
Hello there, Canada. Davon sieht sie schon. Also werde ich nicht schaffen, die Season. Werde los gemacht. Und gut, die vielleicht noch ein bisschen. Nicht weh, Not drückt dabei.
Ist dumm. Es war spaßig.
Okay. Leute. Ist dumm. Jetzt habe ich mein Trinken vergessen, Leute. So hab keine Lust gehabt, sonst das Mikrofon zu ziehen. Okay. Ach. Da. Ach nein, wo ist es denn?
Have to strike a balance, this time between looting and farming, or going for the best position. Looting could include playing extremely aggressive and letting yourself other players loot. In trios, it's much harder to play that aggressive playstyle, since fights take longer and cost more. You want to be efficient with any rotations precious mobility, valuable resources, or health. This is why you'll see a lot of the top players look directly for center zone in the mid-game. When you're in the center zone, you end up giving yourself the most chance of being in the next storm circle when it gets revealed. You'll then have to go less distance and thus spend less material. The end game. The most exciting, thrilling, and difficult part of competitive Fortnite. Experiencing an endgame can be confusing and hard to process, but it will also be one of the most rewarding and fun times to play and watch. This is when you take all the advantages you built in the early game and the mid game and use them to push yourself to a victory royale, and also find as many eliminations as possible. In the current Fortnite Champion Series format, every elimination matters, just like it did in the From 6 onwards, where the calm from the mid game explodes into a cacophony of tunneling, mobility usage, and shots being fired, you'll see teams go for the ever so advantageous high ground, where they can tunnel very cheaply and have the most opportunity on the rest of the server for elimination, as they have the top-down view. You'll also see teams call out the need to find a good layer, which is away from other players, both above, below, and horizontally. You'll see teams desperate for the extra materials to last them through to the full zone closure, going for impact eliminations where they can top off on resources and power weaponry of their fallen opponents. So, whether you're watching or you're joining us on the field, take stock in the stage of the game. The early game, when you're trying to get the best possible loot while it's still available. The mid game, where you're balancing positioning while maintaining what you built during the early game. And finally, the end game. You get all the advantages you set yourself up with to earn the victory royale. This is your game plan in order to earn as many series points weekend after weekend. And maybe next time, we'll be watching and highlighting your top plays. This was Bala TW, and I'll see you in game.
Leute, Miete. Das ist eine Miete, Leute. Also schauen wir
the Fortnite Champion Series, the Shockwave Grenade. We're going to be taking a look at some of the basics on how it's used and misused at crucial moments in the game, and how to adapt and play against them towards the end game. To get started, let's get a refresher on what shockwaves are and some of the basics of using. Shockwave grenades are a utility item that drops in stacks of 2, with a maximum stack size of 6. When thrown, the shockwave launches anyone within its tile-and-a-half radius far distance and builds in the process, with added protection from fall damage for the players who use them. The most effective way to gain maximum distance is to place yourself well with a shockwave right below you, angling yourself above it for higher vertical movement, or towards the side of it in midair for horizontal coverage. If you use a shockwave to rotate through the break you will only be able to go through about 5 layers of wood, brick, or metal before you get to the stop. Going to height, don't get stopped by any movement during the wall. You can reach up to 7.5 tiles in height, giving anyone above you a surprise and changing both yours and your enemy's game plan in a split second. Although really easy to understand and use individually, once entering the atmosphere of trios and teamwork, the use of shockwaves enters a whole new dimension. There are deciding factors in win conditions if used properly, allowing for easy positioning and rotations. Using them and sticking together after the landing is efficient and gets your whole trio online, ready to fire at a faster rate compared to the rest of the competition. Saving these grenades for later use brings an element of surprise as well, and a level of shock to the whole server. Looking at 8th and 9th zones with densely packed patient trails and surviving solos, a way to counter long tarps and bases.
Leute, ich bin heute einfach nicht gut mit auch noch heute Retard-Video oder Retard Batman. Batman, ja Leute, also Leute, wir sehen uns statt wieder. Nur das ein Stopp und dann sehen wir uns wieder. Dann könnt ihr euch freuen für Batman.